guys, welcome to ANX Quickcast, a 10-minute recap of the latest gaming updates, anime news, and TV series. I'm Unbiased Ann, I'm here with Genesis.
What up?
On today's episode, we're reviewing Star Trek Discovery Season 5, Episode 2, Under the Twin Moons. All right, before we get started, you got any news?
No, just quick news. Again, we hit our sub goal of 2,000, so I'm not exactly sure when it will be, but when this episode is released, there will probably be a giveaway going on. So make sure to be on the lookout at the end of this video, just in case there's a giveaway going on.
Okay. So, this episode.
Okay.
Episode 2.
What is it about?
So, this picks up basically right after the first episode.
Oh, yeah?
Well, I mean, sometimes they don't really follow each other. There's some things that just kind of happen on their own.
All right. So episode 2 came after episode 1.
Well, I'm just saying. So basically, Captain Raynor is in trouble for how he handled everything on the prior episode.
Which we didn't really talk about a lot.
Yeah, we didn't.
But, yeah. But anyway, go ahead.
So I'm only mentioning that because it will come into play later, but he basically gets in trouble and kind of, may or may not be leaving. Anyway, so, but the main point of this episode is Captain Burnham and Saru are going down to one of the twin moons that they have found through that guy Fred, that droid Fred's notes, looking for a clue to where to go next to find this,
to find the pieces to the artifact. Right,
exactly.
Or they don't really know its pieces yet, but
it's like the power, though. It's the technology, right, that was used to create humans.
Well, that's what they think it is.
That's what they think it is.
Yeah.
So they get down there, and it's
create life.
Create life. Yeah, that's a better way to put it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much the major point of this episode.
So let's go ahead and get into the things that we like about the show, or maybe I want to start with the dislikes.
Okay.
Once again, it's the same thing as one of the same things I didn't like about the first episode. Everything, it's like this looming end. Like everything is talking about like the end is coming, right? So this one is mainly about Saru. In the last episode, he got engaged to the Vulcan lady.
Yep.
Don't remember her name or her title, but she's somebody high ranking.
President Tarina.
Okay. So he's gonna be what? First husband, first Saru.
I guess
Saru. So. Okay. So anyway, so a lot of times in this episode, it's about him leaving, what to do with his plans when he leaves. This is gonna be his last mission. We're in some trouble here. I'm going to go out and put myself at risk because this is your last mission.
Right.
And you can't die on your last mission. So it's too much of that. I don't like it. So
I also put that I didn't like that, but I think for a different reason.
Okay.
You don't really, I'm kind of a sap, so I fall for these things. And so I was getting sad. Like the more they kept talking, well, and plus I just love their dynamic. To me, they have a special relationship, so I don't want him to leave.
Right.
Now I know he might be back. They said this couple of months or whatever, but it makes me sad. So I don't like that. I don't like it for a different reason, but I don't like that he's leaving.
I just don't like. I mean, yeah, I'm not the sappy type, so it being regardless if it makes me sad or not, it's a gloom over the episodes, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So it's just like that's not what I need. So my next one is again the relationship between Michael and Booker. It's seemingly they broke up in the last episode.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not sure how they were together when they were apart and not talking to each other.
Yeah.
So I guess they were kind of like separated. I guess everything happened so fast with him getting in trouble in the last season.
There was no closure, really.
Right. Maybe they never had that conversation. Right. They were together and then he did the crazy and then he's gone and they haven't talked. So now they've talked and apparently broke up.
Yep. So I had that written down too.
You taking my notes.
But once you said it about the last episode, it made me a little more aware. And I thought it was real awkward the way, exactly what you said. Like I got why she kind of was like closing the book on book on the last episode. Kind of like, I think like she said, we're saying it now. And then all of a sudden, and I get it, she's in an awkward position because the admiral seemed to have hired him or wanted him to come back, so she kind of has to do what she has to do.
Well, in the beginning, it was her idea to bring him.
Yeah.
It was her idea, like, I got somebody who can help.
Right.
But now it's turned into, now that he has helped, he's gotten the attention of the higher-ups, and now it's like, okay, you helping from here on out until we finish this.
Right. So I understand she's in an awkward position, but the whole like way that interaction went when she went in, she's playing with the mouse, and it was just like kind of
like a gift for him, and they're playing around and joking with each other.
Yeah, it was
and
kind of awkward.
It just turned into being something awkward. I mean, I think they showed it to kind of show like they clearly still like each other, but it was just awkward. Like it just every part of their relationship and when it happens always seems to just be a little off. And I don't mean like timing wise, you have those shows where it's like these two people are supposed to be together, but the timing is off, right?
Yeah.
It's not that. It's just like every point of their relationship seems to not make sense for what is actually happening.
Right.
So it's like, okay. And the last thing I can say that I didn't like is that the story is moving too fast. There's a lot that happened in the first episode. That's why our first episode was so long, and then even in this episode, it's just a lot that has happened.
Yeah,
I mean, you done introduced the new captain. He's helping. He done got court-martialed, and now he's been forced into an early retirement.
Right.
And now he's been demoted. Basically, you can come back, but you're gonna get a demotion. There's just a lot happening, and Booker, I get that you had the contact, you knew about Fred, I guess.
Yep.
But everything else, he's just kind of speculating about and just happens to be right. It's a little too convenient and a little too easy, and they're moving along with this puzzle, this 800-year-old puzzle. They're moving along with it like fairly easy and just moving through it. And not only 800-year-old puzzle, but they're encountering things like that moon they went to, 2,000-year-old technology. So now not only are you figuring out an 800-year-old puzzle, you're figuring out the 2,000-year-old stuff that's happening. So it's just like, okay.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
I had something similar to not exactly that, but I did think that it was moving. Things were just kind of, but moving fast. But then when they get that one piece and they put it in, and like 2 seconds in, she's like, I think it's a puzzle. I'm like, how would you even know that quickly? Like, I don't know. It just felt like kind of what you said, like
you're figuring
very
out.
Convenient.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Anyway, that's all I got.
Okay, so let's go to the things that we did like. There were things that we did like. So even though it's moving along fast, I do like the Captain Raynor story so far. I don't like that it happened so fast, but I do like that he got to where he was at. So he is a person. First off, he's able to pull it off because whoever this guy is a good actor.
Yep.
But he's a guy who's been around Starfleet for a long time now. And again, you got to remember, before Michael and them showed up, there was no more Federation as we know it. It was kind of a shell of itself. And so he was a part of that, probably going off on some weird missions, trying to help people where they could, trying to continue to grow and the Federation and help rebuild it, right? And basically what they're saying is, you don't have to be that way anymore. Like, whatever you saw, the things that you've been through, you don't have to be that guy anymore. Things have changed. This is way beyond you now. You need to go home. Yep. Kind of reminds me of Kira and DS9. Her transformation and development over the course of that seven season show. She was fighting back against the occupation. She was like a rebel against, the Cardassians.
Yeah. And she was really intense, and everything was just like, ah.
And then there, as probably an episode or two per season where she comes to grips with like, hey, all of my anger might be a little bit displaced. Not that the Kardashians were right about anything, but maybe I wasn't necessarily 100% fair of what I thought about them.
Yeah.
And that the more of them that she got to know and certain things that would happen in events, she was able to handle that a little bit better. So I see the same thing happening with him. And so I like that.
Yeah. No, I agree. I like him. One of the things that I liked was when he kind of hopped in to help solve what the problem Kelly was having.
So let me set that up. Just so the last episode, the Red Directive, they sent Michael out to in Discovery to handle that, but they also sent him and his ship, right? So in the middle of all that, like we talked about earlier, he got in trouble for kind of something he did on one of these planets that put a lot of people's lives at risk, right? So now he's getting court-martialed. And so now Michael is still going out doing the Red Directive stuff. He's back just getting yelled at by people.
Yep.
So she got in trouble with Saru on the planet. He was able to pop in and help the science officers because they were having some problems.
Right. So I really they were just in a complete panic, and he just popped in and was like, it just made me laugh. I've been listening on comms. How? Because I've been doing this for 30 years or whatever. Right. He said, I've been on 7 Red Directives. Like, I don't know. One, I just like how he popped in and helped, and just the way he was kind of like his whole interaction with them. But I also, I've mentioned this technology from other movies that we've seen, like futuristic. I love that technology where it's like the person just is there. That's so cool to me.
Like a hologram.
Like a hologram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next thing, Action Saru. We've seen some of his physical traits and skills and some of the others, but yeah, him running, dodging, shooting stuff out of his face. Action Saru is dope.
I seriously have that on my list.
Hey,
I swear, I have it right
here. I don't
here.
even think you watched the show. I think you were just looking at my phone trying to see what I put down.
No, I literally wrote Saru running fast on his hooves, because that's basically what they are.
Yeah, he got horse feet.
And then him shooting the drone things from his, like, not ears, but whatever that, like,
the gills.
Yeah, the gills.
Yeah,
that is dope. I agree with you.
Yeah. So Action Saru is dope, and too bad he's about to take a desk job, so we might not ever see it again. Right. The last thing that I say that I really like about this is the constant talk of Trill, Betazoid, Romulans. It's just it's for this to be 1,000 years in the future. It's cool to hear about some of the species that we're used to and accustomed to, right? You would think that there would just be all new stuff all the time, which that could be cool too. But considering this is the last season, I'm pretty sure they made an effort to just include familiar things,
species or whatever. Yeah,
familiar things, whatever it is, from showing a story and talking about an episode of TNG with John Luke, and then you're talking about the Trills, and we're going to beta. So actually, they got part of the mystery wrong. They thought they were going to Betazoid, but I guess they're actually going to Trill.
Yeah, the bad guys, the Mock and
just the next part of the adventure to the puzzle.
Yeah,
right. They're trying to solve the riddle, right?
But they didn't see that last part. So don't they? They're thinking they have to go to Betazoid.
The bad guys.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not sure. I don't even care where the bad guys go.
Oh yeah, but Michael and them are going to Trill.
Yep.
Yep.
So is there going to be a Dax there?
But it wouldn't be Dax.
No, but
ooh, it would be a version of Dax.
That would be dope.
Yeah, that would be dope.
So
okay, last thing. I'll just say 2 little things. Okay. One, because of everything we've seen with Captain Raynor, at the end, basically, as you already kind of mentioned, so he was kind of forced into retirement, although Michael stepped in and offered him a job to be her number 1, which
since Action Saru is leaving,
right? Which I was actually really happy about. Like, I was like, okay, this is gonna be good.
Yeah, I mean, it was better than the original thing that was floating around talking about making Booker the first officer.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
What are we talking about here? What are we doing?
And then back to cinematography. I know we've talked about this before, but I just thought the whole forest scene was so good. Like, it was just very high quality to me.
Yeah.
Everything about it, I was like, it was just nice to watch.
Now, I think the only thing that we left out a main part here, not on purpose, but I'm sure it's going to be a main topic of the next episode with Booker and
what's
her name? Maul?
Maylene or something.
Yeah. So
okay,
I'm sure to come up on our next episode.
All right. That's it for today, guys. Thanks for listening to ANX Quickcast. If you enjoyed the show, please make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you'll be the first to know when we release new episodes. See you next week.
It's a cool video right here. I don't know what it's going to be while we're recording this, but I'm pretty sure it's cool. Check it out.